Howdy, welcome to Single Scene Analysis, where as the name implies, instead of looking at a whole movie, I will be looking at a single scene of it, and trying to break it down the best that I can. Today, we are going to be looking at Justice League, everybody's favorite movie. Alrighty, so we open with a shot showing some pigeons on the roof, and we are introduced to our main bad guy, who, in classic fashion, appears to be taking out a large sack of money from some unestablished building on the rooftop. As the robber tries to sneak away with his gains, he realizes he is not alone on this rooftop. He has the company of Batman with him tonight. And then his plan, upon seeing Batman, is to drop the bag and begin to walk off as if he's surrendering. And as soon as Batman drops his guard, he can spin around and shoot him. The problem with this, though, is after dropping the bag, the guy takes one step before turning around and trying to shoot Batman. So if his plan was to have Batman drop his guard and turn around and catch him off guard and shoot him, that didn't work in the slightest, because Batman did not have enough time to drop his guard. Imagine instead of Batman up there, it's just some cop aiming a gun at this guy. With this guy's plan, what essentially would happen is gun is aimed, he begins to walk away. Oh, he's walking, oh, never mind. So next, we see obviously the guy's shot misses and Batman flies away. But this is Batman. Shouldn't he already be gone by this point? Wouldn't it be a lot more impactful if the guy spun around and shot and the camera shows just nothing's there anymore? He didn't catch Batman off guard at all, he's just gone. Not only is Batman not gone when this guy turns around, but this guy is able to track Batman's movement. If you notice, he doesn't shoot where Batman was sitting. He shoots directly under Batman, meaning the only reason Batman was not shot and killed in this shot is because the guy missed, and Batman just looks like an idiot. This shot of the pigeons adds nothing to this scene. The only reason that it's there is to hide the fact that this would be an awkward cut. It's like the guys in the editing room didn't quite have the reaction shots that they wanted, so they just put this in as a filler so the audience forgets in the gap that, hey, wait a minute, why is this guy moving this way? Why is he looking over there? Logically, shouldn't he be heading towards the edge of the building where he just saw Batman leave from to try to get a good view of where Batman went? There's no suspense here. When we cut back, the guy just kind of seems to know where Batman's heading. I mean, the guy's pretty much just going, well, if I was Batman, I'd probably head over here. And guess what? He's right. Right here we get what we're going to find to be a little bit of a recurring theme in this scene. It's the fact that the only reason Batman isn't shot and killed is because this guy's an idiot. Yeah, Batman, let's just jump down in front of the guy with the gun. That sounds like a good idea. And I don't want to hear that Batman disarmed the guy before he could react. Double checking my script so I know I get the facts right. The average human reaction time to visual stimuli is about 0.25 seconds. It takes 15 frames from the point at which this guy sees Batman to the point at which Batman moves the gun away from pointing at himself. Films are shot at 24 frames a second, so 15 frames will be equal to 0.625 seconds, which is well above human reaction time. And all this is ignoring the pretty big time jump that happens in the cut here. I also don't want to hear, oh, Batman caught him off guard. Yeah, the guy turns the corner trying to find Batman and is surprised when he sees Batman, I guess. The shot looks cool, but it breaks the 180-degree rule. Where did this gun land? I don't know. Somewhere. It legitimately took me like 3 minutes to figure out where the camera is placed after this cut, which is not a good thing. Now, I'm not always a negative Nancy. I do want to say, I kind of like that cut. The power shot of Batman to the kind of unique over-the-head shot of the guy falling on his back, alone in the frame with nothing but Batman, I think it works. But back to negativity, this cut sucks. Can we really not get a moment of him laying back on the ground in this scene and give the audience a moment to feel the power of the kick? And now he's crawling. Where is he crawling to? To the gun, which is here. Great, I sure do know where this is. I'm also now realizing that the gun should have hit the ladder in this shot, and even if it didn't, it would have hit one of these two concrete poles. In fact, there's no real way that the gun landed directly on this side of the water tower, especially since the shot of it landing looks like this. Also, real quick, look how big the time gaps are between each of the cuts while he's crawling. Crawling is very slow, and this gun is pretty far away. Batman easily could have just walked around and kicked the gun away and prevented this from happening. But no, he spends his time climbing the water tower for some reason. So now Batman is on this side of the water tower for some reason. I mean, moments ago he was directly behind it, but I guess he thought it would look cooler if he just scooted to the side a bit. Wait a minute, this guy is also on that side of the tower. He stood straight up after picking up the gun, which means the gun landed here. What? So now the guy loses his gun because water hits him in the face. What I hate about this is that this guy wasn't disarmed because of anything clever that Batman did. He was disarmed because he was stupid. Also, there's no clattering sound effect of the gun hitting the ground, so maybe Batman did steal it, just very sneakily. Pop quiz, where is this man looking? Going back to one of our wide shots and arbitrarily assigning cardinal directions, is he facing north, south, east, or west? The answer is east. But I didn't know that the first time I watched, and I'm guessing even if you did figure it out, it took you a moment. The sense of space in this film is horrendous.
What are you doing? No, wait! No, wait! Wait!
Alright, this shot is just ugly looking. Nothing here looks remotely real. And worst of all, it's boring. There's nothing here that's interesting to look at. This is going to be your fight ender? Batman just doing a weird flip off the building and landing on the guy? That's it? Remember those pigeons I mentioned earlier, which were set up, and then the audience was reminded of them, and then nothing happened with them? Well, this would have been a really good shot to pay off all that setup. Imagine if instead of just running through a bland rooftop, he was running through a flight of pigeons, and as they all were flying up, Batman is coming down on him. Not only would that be visually interesting, it would signify the end of the fight, bringing us full circle from the beginning. Best of all, you could do that with CGI. And I know how you guys love your CGI. So another question that may have popped into your head while watching this sequence is, why exactly is the man running towards this part of the building? There doesn't appear to be a ladder here, or his gun, but then again, that could be literally anywhere at this point. The only real explanation left is that he's planning to jump the gap. Which, alright, reasonable enough. I mean, I can't really tell how wide the gap is here, but I guess let's wait and see it in the wide shot.
What are you doing? No, wait! No, wait! Wait! Please! Please, man! Please!
Oh, he was just trying to kill himself. Alright. Bring back out the fact sheet. Assuming this man is 5 foot 9 inches, this gap would be roughly 17 feet wide, which if we look up average human jumping distance, you'll see it's about 8 feet, if you are considered excellent at jumping. And now we get to the worst line in this entire movie, possibly in any movie ever.
What are you doing? No, wait! No, wait! Wait! Please! Please, man! Please! What do you want from me?
Fear. I can smell it.
What do you want from me? Fear. They can smell it. Now, I don't hate this line because it's poorly delivered, or it's corny, or anything like that. I hate this line because it completely changes the context in which we view everything that happened prior to this moment. Why is Batman here? He doesn't actually care about the robber, or the robbery. The reason Batman is here is to harvest fear from criminals in order to lure out this creature. And this is the scene you gave us? At what part of this scene is the criminal afraid? At what part is he in fear for his life? This whole scene is goofy. And the problem with that is that you can't have a shot like this and then expect the audience to believe that Batman wants fear. Do you know how cool this scene could have been? Batman's not operating on a sense of justice. He is operating solely to terrify criminals. Do you remember this scene from Batman Begins?
Where are you?
This clip conveys in 20 seconds perfectly the tone that this scene could not convey in a minute 40. This guy has no idea where Batman is at any given moment. His weapon feels utterly useless in his hands, to the point where Batman doesn't even have to worry about disarming him. And when this guy calls out, you can feel the desperation and fear in his voice. Now compare that to this.
No, wait! No, wait!
This film cost $300 million to make. Now I'm going to go a bit faster here because I feel like I've been droning on for a while. But a detail that I know that I personally got confused about is these guys landed back on the same building that they took off from. Here's a fun little game that you can play at home. Try and map out the flight path that these guys took to end up back in the same place they started. My current best guess is that they went around this building and then back. But I'm not really sure. But if we aren't going to change locations, then what's the point of going in the air at all? Why not just stay on the ground and struggle there? It would look cooler, and we wouldn't have to see this terrible city CGI. Why does Batman have to shoot this thing as he's falling? There's no stakes here. He is on flat ground. Just have him hit the ground so he can feel the impact of this kick and then shoot it. We don't need slow-mo here. And Batman is already back on his knees when we cut back to him. Why can't we see people on the ground? Why can't any of these hits feel like they have an impact on these characters?
What the hell?
What was that?
Nice job getting that fear, Batman.
What was that?
They didn't even match up his lip movements. This is the easiest fix in the world. You have to draw over like 5 pixels.
A scout.
From space. Like an alien army?
Alfred, are you seeing this?
It's cause they know he's dead, right? Superman. He's gone. Where does that leave us?
Oh yeah, I forgot to arrest you. And we fade out to Justice League. What a perfect beginning to a perfect movie. Now, if there's anything to take away from this, it's the fact that doing movies is really hard. It's not intuitive, and even the experts who are paid millions to come out and do this for a living can make terrible things like this. If you want to be a filmmaker, no matter how much you learn, no matter how much practice you get, making scenes like this will never come easy to you. It will always be difficult. And it's really easy to point out mistakes in finished products like this, but it's really hard to do that when in the process of making your own film. But the most important lesson of all is that no matter what, you will never make a fight scene better than this.
We have to fight.
Yes.
Because you killed my dad.
Only because you killed my dad.
Let's go.
You've learned since last time. We beg it.
Do you remember when we used to be friends?
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Austin.
So I killed your dad.
Oh, cool, man.
Bye-bye.